And we are live. All right, everybody, I'm going to share screen so we see this week's Figure Friday. Thank you, Alex, Mike, and Harris for joining us. Let's share this window. Figure Friday. Okay, so this is our Figure Friday week 42. And as you can see here, let's make this a little bit bigger. Oops, that's way too big. It was about food waste data set. This data set right here. Well, we won't open it for now in the interest of time. Thank you, Esther, for building this like donut chart, pie chart that you can just take apart with Plotly, and showing some of the breakdown of food waste by type. And then we have, this is the sample chart. Just need to somehow exit it. Okay. And then we have two charts, sample charts from Plotly Studio with a prompt that shows you how one of the bar charts were created. And then we have a couple of apps that were created by Alex and by Esther. Really like this chart, Alex. Ternary. And then by Esther. Let's go just over Esther quickly. She's not here, and I want to give her some love and attention. There we go. Can everybody see this new tab that I opened with the map?
Yeah.
Well,
yes.
Cool. So that's Esther. Oh, you, Danny, 45 minutes ago wrote, I didn't see this. It's very pleasant. The header, okay. You like the color gradient. Tree map occupies full availability width, but the map looks very small, so maybe make the map bigger. Thank you, Mike, for commenting as well. I wrote a map box in the prompt. Okay, perfect. All right, so let's see. We have the food waste index data app. Nice to gradient as well, I think. Same thought here, Esther. Description is good. We have the controls like always on top, which we can change if you wanted to only limit it to certain countries. And then we have our summary cards, 214 total countries, which I have to double check because I didn't know the world has 214 countries. I thought we were like 205 or something. Maybe some countries are like autonomous regions but belong to other countries as a duplicate. But interesting. How many countries are there? 195 in the UN. Okay, so we have some stragglers, some add-ons, or maybe country states or something.
Territories.
Maybe territories, exactly.
Because when I was doing an analysis of Denmark, was it?
Yeah.
Is in Greenland.
Oh, right.
And there was a question: should I include Greenland in it? And
exactly. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Of course, it is part. So yes, but
yeah. So we have the metric that we can choose here. How do we want to see the map? I like how she put this in like 100% width. Combined fish. So these are kilos per capita of waste per year. And so we're combined figures. We can see household estimates is the most in Nigeria. But if we look at retail estimate, the most is in France with 26 kilograms per capita per year. So that's a very interesting way of seeing things. In tons, in the food service estimates, the U.S. has the most waste in China, which is probably correlated to the population size as well. Now, India would be bigger than U.S., so interesting that U.S. has more. This is Indonesia. Oh, I saw that on Alex's as well. Yeah, that's a. And then we have the tree map, color of confidence, high confidence, medium confidence, minimum waste threshold, at least 115, 110. And here we have the countries by color of confidence. High confidence. What happens if I change this? Oh, so we're limiting. It's filtering the data. To 1 second. No, it's not this. 1 second. Okay. Let's choose all. Okay, cool. Polynesia, Eastern Asia. We see Sub-Saharan Africa is the biggest. The only thing I would recommend here, Esther, is if somebody clicks on the X button by mistake, so make it show up. Or if it's multi, this is multi false, so you can only choose one. So just do clearable false, so nobody can clear the drop down. There's always something there. That'll be my only recommendation. But pretty good. Anybody else has any questions or comments?
I do have a question. Excuse me. Sorry, I have a cough today. So this was cool. I like it. Is this one of the apps that have been built via the Plotly Studio then, or because it looks Plotly Studio? Or this? Oh, this is cool. This is awesome. So it's because I noticed these KPI widgets at the top. They're looking similar to other ones and stuff like that. But it's
exactly, Harry. So that's exactly how people usually tell how I started telling this about the studio, because it has the title, it has these here, and it has usually the control on top and then the cards.
Yeah, that's cool. So to build something like this, it's just nothing but prompts. Is that right, or is there any?
Yeah, what she most likely did is she went here to the Plotly Studio. Oh wait, you can't see it. 1 second. What she most likely did, let me share the other screen, is Window, Studio. Okay, so what she probably went in here, she did a new project, she uploaded the food waste data set, and then she might have put like a context here. I want, she actually shared in the other screen that I shared in the forum, she shared the prompt for the tree map. So she might have already put the prompt here, or she might have said, give me a more generic prompt. Give me a tree map that does X, Y, Z. Right? And then she clicked done, and then it generated the outline, it generated the app, and that's most likely what the app that she came up with. And then after the app was generated, I think she mentioned to me earlier that she edited a few things, right? So here's the app that was generated. The tree map here. No, this one did. Well, let's say this was a tree map or whatever bar. She went to edit, and then she edited the prompt here to get whatever to get exactly what she wanted.
That's so cool. That's so amazing. Oh my god! I was like, I'm so sad I only ever got it installed and not any further.
So here, for example, I'm changing as vertical bar chart. We slide it to just number of countries shown and drop down for various categories. Make the color, I don't know, yellow. Horrible color for a bar chart. And then I changed the prompt to yellow, and I changed it to vertical. So essentially, you should build something very similar, but just with the new instructions, where it's a vertical thing and then yellow instead of green.
Wow.
Let's give it a second. But that's how you would do it, Harrison. That's how you would, and usually it's good to do it like in bullet points. I want this and that, and so here we go.
Hey, that's super helpful. I mean, it just takes away all the fluff about trying to get your UI looking. And that's that I found was tricky. I saw lots of different CSS hacks and things like that to make the UI look good and things like that. But this just, you get to focus on the KPIs, the thing that people actually really care about, right? It still has to look pretty because people like things that look pretty. You don't have to worry about it. That's cool. I like that.
Absolutely.
So thank you, Esther, for sharing your app with us, building it and sharing it, and also the prompt for the tree map. That's very helpful. And now I'm going to give the floor to Alex. Alex, you want me to share screen?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Window. Share the screen, please.
I think it's this screen dash. Where is it? Here we go. So let's look at Alex's. Okay.
Okay. Starting from here, I built this time a map called the waste triangle based on the three type of weight we have here, of waste we have here. That is household, the retail, and the food service. First, I made clusters. Then I did the cluster. I identified the cluster, 4 clusters. I shared in the forum exactly the script about the clusters. Then, I decided to these 4 clusters. select one, what you wish add, and for instance, the household crisis. I name it. I did the household crisis base. This cluster is basic 12 country and an average of 141 average K per capita,
The kilogram per capita per year.
kilogram per capita, and total ton per years. And here and at the right, you will see exactly the numbers of this, the percentage of these clusters. Then you can, in this case, 78. This one of the things that is the I call the household crisis because it's the higher percentage in this group are the higher country with the higher percentage of household,
Yeah.
78%. Okay, then you can select in the tree map in the ternary plot one country, and you at the right side you will see the detail in the country basic the detailed analysis, a detailed analysis based on exactly, in this case, Nigeria, that have the total waste compared with the average here, and also and some numbers highlighted then against the average of the clusters mainly. We can see the waste source breakdown, that's household share, in this case 81%, 81% versus the average cluster is 0.34% versus the average cluster. And also you can see that the color there changed to make some a narrative uniform that you can see exactly with the color change. You see is red or is gray or green.
So
Then
gray means that it's fairly close, like within 5%. Red means that it's a lot higher, and green is a lot lower.
exactly, 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 exactly. Exactly, that's the point. Then you can go down and you will see an strategy household centered intervention. It's basically a recommended actions, and this country has called high priority primary focus consumer behavior change and recommended action. Is the recommended action basically some a list of recommended action. I did a research using FAO rules and several things to make some recommendation make sense. No, in this case, mass education campaign on food storage, standardized data labeling, best and before use by days, subsidized community composting and organic waste collection, and etc. 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 The key performance indicators: this track percentage reduction in household waste, participation in composting program, app downloads, and the budget allocation allocates 60 and 70% of food waste budget to household intervention. And it's basically exactly what I like it to do with this cluster, meaning all the other cluster give you exactly a information about the country that are in this cluster and exactly recommendation and what to do. That is basically what I like to do with this data. And the tree map, the ternary plot, was exactly for me the ideal type of chart to show these three dimensions, basically, because they are highly connected.
Yeah.
And that's it. I don't know if you have any question, any doubt.
Before questions, I just wanted to share for those people who are not sure how to read a ternary plot. So to read a ternary plot, it's very appropriate in these cases like Alex used, where there's like three different categories that all add up from like 0 to 100. So let's take Nigeria, for example. To read a ternary plot, this left side represents the household waste, and it's read according to these lines. You see these horizontal lines. So this would be 60. If a point will be here, it will be 60. If a point is here, you see here is household is 80.6. And if it's a little bit below, the point is here, it's 70 something, 77.4. You're reading it horizontally, right? But The other lines are kind of like diagonal. So let's look at Nigeria
Exactly.
again. Look at retail is 6.9. Retail is 6.9 because it's right here. This is right here. Retail.
Retail, exactly, in the base,
It's
exactly.
yeah. So retail is right here. You see all these that it's kind of hard with my mouse. I don't have a marker, but retail goes from 0 to 100. But the lines you see are diagonal. So if anything is on this point, this should be around 20 because this is a 20 line, right?
Exactly.
Here, so this is retail. We see like 19, very close to 20. If the point was right here, it will be around the 40. If the point is somewhere here, it will be around the 60 line. So this, you can see if you draw a diagonal line all the way down here, it's around 5 or 6. That's why all of these in retail are around 5 or 6, 7, 5, 6, 7. This here would be around 15 or so. Yeah, 15.2. So diagonal. And then the last one is the last diagonal is
Food service.
food service waste, which go this way. You see, from 40 to 60, from 60, 80, and 100. So these over here all of these should be between 0 to 20, more accurately, probably between 10 to 20 food service waste. So you have 12, 13, and so on and so on and so on. So you got to learn how to read it, but it's a very interesting.
Yeah, that's super helpful, Adam. I'm looking at that chart and thinking, how the hell do you read this? I'll be honest, I've not seen that kind of chart. I'm used to bar charts, pie charts, maybe a couple of bullet charts or something. But that's a weird one. I was trying to understand it as well. I was like, I don't understand where the best position to be is. If I looked at that chart and said, look, there's a dot on it, is that a bad position to be, or is it a good position to be? Do you know what I mean? Like, if it's one quadrant compared to another quadrant of bubble charts and things, instantly. But I'm looking at it thinking, is that good or is that bad? But that's cool. That's I've never seen it.
Yeah. That's
awesome.
that kind of thought process, Harris, is what passes in many people's heads when they first are exposed to ternary charts.
Yeah.
And ternary charts are actually very good when are even better, Harris, when all three properties or categories add up to 100. Nice. So what I mean by that, let's say you have a product to build cement, or let's say you have a house. You're building You're building a wall of a house, and the wall can be built by three major elements. Let's say cement, water, and something else, and they all have to add up to like 100%. So I use, let's say, 20% cement, 40% water, and then like 40% whatever that is of sand. And so you would see based on this where all these stand, and then you can make a better guess, a better educated assessment of what is better or what is worse based on that material and area of expertise.
So would it be fair to say that if you have a dot directly in the center of that triangle, it's going to be equals 33% across all those things? Is that fair, or
it should be, yeah. Because it will be here, if it goes all the way up diagonally, it'll be 33% food waste, or let's say it's...
Hey, that's cool. I like that, Mike. I've never seen a chart like that, to be honest. I didn't know how to read it, so I was like, pretend you just nod and go,
yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
I don't know if you remember, Aaron, that the first time I see it was a carbon emission. Once data said that I don't remember the name of the Matthew might I don't remember the name. They present one, but with carbon emission, and this was the first time I see it exactly using this type of data. Really cool, really cool.
Okay.
Could you? So just one last quick question. I know that you have. Could you have more points then if you're going to sit there and say, you've got 1 to 100%, could you have 4, 5, 6 points? I'm not going to say like a radar chart or a spider chart, but if you had more points that you wanted to divide it by and still have your point in the center, could you do that with this kind of triangular chart, but add another point to say household waste, retail waste, and I don't know, some other waste?
I think so. It's a good question. I think ternary charts are always only three
dimensional.
Three-dimensional.
Okay.
But the goal is once you get really, and I still have to practice, but once you get really good at it and you know your area of expertise, what you're actually measuring, let's say elements of a house or cement or whatever, cooking, then you would know what these smaller triangles mean, right?
Mhm.
If I have all my whatever products concentrated here, oh, this is very good because this has a lot of cement in the product. I want an average. I'm looking for my product to be perfectly symmetrical and average. So I want all my dots to be right here. So these areas of the of this chart is it gives you a lot of information without even looking into each and every stat.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Adam, for instance, if you make a selection, select the no, but the using the zoom of the exactly this triangle is really cool because you can join all the dots that are closer. It's really cool,
Yeah.
and then it's specific, really cool. I like it this exactly.
I need to move beyond. I need to move beyond bar
Eh.
charts. You know, it's great.
Me too. I have to stop using pie charts.
Yeah. I know when you get pie chart, the donuts, you've got to keep with the times. You know, it's donut charts are the trendy ones. No one uses pie chart. Yeah, it's cool though.
Really cool.
That's really cool. I like that. Thanks for explaining it, by the way, as well. I didn't know I was looking at.
Of course. Any other questions or comments?
Oh, not for me. Oh, just one. This is not a Plotly Studio one. I imagine this is all manually built to an extent.
Dash.
Yeah.
Right, Alex? This is Dash. Alex,
Huh?
is this Dash app?
Sí, sí. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Is
Yeah.
Dash App? Sí, yes. No, Plotly Studio, no. Dash App.
Alex, what was this? Oh, this was the information is beautiful. They had a nice chart here.
Yes, these are some exactly information about information is beautiful. How they do it with this data, and basically it's really cool. The data, for instance, this one Sankey, how they use the Sankey is very informative, very storytelling, really cool. So
Yeah.
I would like to share with them.
I'm sure you can replicate some of these in Plotly Studio because it's just so powerful.
That's the idea, exactly. Exactly.
I found that when I saw particular charts that some people were throwing out on LinkedIn, like, hey, look at this crazy chart I built in Power BI, just by taking a screenshot of that chart and throwing it into some AI like Claude and saying, hey, can you just recreate this? I mean, there's a little endpoints you've got to use. You can't use the Plotly Express. You need to use the can't remember what's called now, the Plotly graph objects. That's right. But you can build any chart you want. It's amazing. I just do it at AI and said, could you build this for me? It's a bit tricky initially, but it came out with the right result. That's cool.
You're right.
It's really cool.
Yeah, LLMs are so powerful these days, and we're building on top of that, obviously, with Plotly Studio. So
yeah,
cool, folks. So as a reminder, I'm going to give it a shot this Tuesday. I'll schedule something. I'll look at my calendar, maybe something around noon or 1 p.m. For people here or people watching us. I see we have about 65 people watching us. So we're going to put I'll create like a 45-minute mini live stream workshop where I will take the Figure Friday data set of the week and try to build a Plotly Studio app with it using nothing but natural language. And so I'll share my screen and do that. And then if anybody, whoever joins, is more than welcome to provide their opinion. And I'd like it to be like a group kind of work, a conversation, like, okay, we see this data set. What kind of graph do we want to ask Plotly Studio to make, right? What kind of graph do we think is best? Ternary, bar charts, and then build it and then edit the graphs and kind of like build the app that we want to build in the 45 minutes that we have. I'll schedule it. I'll put it on LinkedIn, on the forum and Discord. I hope you can join us. And in addition to that, obviously, we'll also look over all the other apps that people build on the regular Figure Friday sessions.
Cool. Sounds good.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Have a nice weekend.
Have a nice weekend.
See you. Thanks.
You
too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And live